Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is Daily Analytical Report with Alpari. So during half an hour webinar, I will tell you what's going on the markets, and we'll try to find some decent trading occasions. I have a few for you. First, obviously, we'll start with fundamental analysis, what's going on fundamentally on the market, and what we can see is we can see gains on American dollar, which are mostly contributed to yesterday Fed speak, mostly from Mr. Rosengreen, who is Boston Fed president. He's a non-voter this year. So maybe his opinions are not so relevant, but still he's telling, he's advising, he's proposing 4 rate hikes this year, at least 4 rate hikes this year. He was telling that the last time that Fed was rising rates, that they were on a path of rising interest rates a few years ago, it was done on every single meeting. Now he's telling about the path, about rising rates every other meeting, so not so frequent, but still that would give us at least 4 rises this year. By some people he can be considered very hawkish, but as you can see, this comparison that last time Fed was rising rates on every meeting, and now they are not doing that. They are very cautious about rising rates. They are doing it very, very slowly. We have some opinions that it's already too late for that. But anyway, this is giving strength to American dollar at the moment. Also, we have some factors from the fundamental analysis, right? From the technical analysis. I'm sorry, I will explain you that a bit later. Let me show you the calendar. Also, yesterday what happened is we had a data from DOE from United States. We got a build in inventories, but it wasn't so big as expected, which also helped the oil to go a little bit higher, but it's this upswing on oil is not so significant. We are still below an important horizontal resistance here, but I will show you that obviously in a second once we will take a look on the charts. Now we can see in the calendar what should we expect. What we had today was a pack of data from Eurozone, but the most important one will be GDP from United States. Actually, we will be able to see that live. We had a time switch, I think last weekend in Europe, so that's why we are able to see the data from United States live, which is usually presented in that hour. Tomorrow a lot of data, but nothing from tier 1 data. We will have GDP from UK. We will have personal income spending from United States. GDP also from Canada. So you can see quite significant data, but no fireworks actually. So now let me show you the charts. I'm thinking if I told you everything about the fundamental point of view. I told you about the Fed president from Boston, Mr. Rosengreen, what he said. Well, we also had a Fed speak from San Francisco president, Mr. John Williams. He also backed multiple rate hikes, but he's also a non-voter. But well, we can expect that those opinions from those two Fed members are shared with the rest of rest of the committee. Apart from that, we do have those that Brexit talks, but I think the Brexit scenario is already priced in. It's interesting because it is said that Brexit scenario is mostly priced in on the British pound, but everybody's wondering if, well, not everybody, some of the traders are wondering if it's already priced in euro as well. In my opinion, Europe, well, Britain should be fine, should be good with the Brexit. It doesn't mean that I support Brexit, but in my opinion, they can do well. That's a smart nation, right? Also, worldwide, there's a huge amount of trading partners that are just waiting to sign new deals with Britain. Britain will look for new deals as well. That can be an opportunity for many countries. If they will provide also the deregulation of the market, they will be just fine. And if they will be fine, that can create a dangerous situation for from European Union members. That countries like, for example, France, Italy, they will see that there is life outside the European Union, and the life is good. Once they will be able to see that, because, well, you have to know that those countries are not a big fans of the domination of Germany, right? We all know that European Union is owned by Germany. It's a German. It's an organization which is, I would say, in 100% controlled by Germany. There's an illusion that that this organization is common for all. That it's an organization which shares responsibilities and knowledge and power, definitely power. No, it's a purely German organization, European Union, and big countries, strong countries, like for example Italy or France, they are not actually very happy with that. So once those countries will see that there is a life outside the European Union, they may be thinking about exit as well, which I don't think that Euro and Eurozone, well, Eurozone and European Union, because those are two different things. But if them two will survive another exit, like French exit or Italy exit, etc., etc. But again, we have to wait for that. We will see. But I don't think that the scenario is already priced in on euro. It is priced in, I think, on the British pound, but I don't think this Brexit scenario is priced in on euro. Okay. Now let's analyze the market from the technical point of view. Let me start with American dollar to Japanese yen, where we had this creation of a sell signal recently, a few days ago, when we broke this horizontal support. Here the price declined lower. But let me show you those two candlesticks, two daily candlesticks. They have two long tails. And I was signaling that, I was telling you about that yesterday, that this creates a dangerous situation for a reversal. And if the price will manage to come back above this resistance, this horizontal resistance, to the place where I highlighted with this thumb up, that can be a positive sign for buyers. And here, once the price will come back here, that will be a buy signal. Another instrument is Australian dollar to American dollar. Well, I was telling you that American dollar is stronger, but Australian dollar is very strong as well. So it's here, if you would take a look here on this pair, Nobody would said that we had hawkish Fed yesterday, right? But we had, and it can be seen on other instruments. But Australian dollar is very strong, which I will be able to see to show you, for example, here on Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar or on a pair of euro to Australian dollar. But we will come back to it later. Australian dollar to American dollar was trading very technically here. They traded technically here where they created this inverse head and shoulder formation. There was a breakout of a neckline upswing. But now I do not see actually anything interesting on this chart. I think this mojo is lost. For now I'm waiting for the situation to develop. We are below horizontal support, below horizontal resistance. This is H4, but on a daily chart, if we would take a look, I would highlight something like that, support and the resistance here. That's what I'm seeing. Now on this instrument we also do have a horizontal, well, not horizontal but dynamic resistance here. We do have dynamic support here, but as long as we stay below this horizontal support and this horizontal resistance, 220 pips, the sentiment is neutral. American dollar to Mexican peso, as you can see, we broke this trend line. After breaking the trend line, we tested that. It was a support for a long time. We tested that as a resistance. This test was positive for sellers. The price bounced from this long-term trend line and is now heading lower, and actually soon we should be testing that levels before the Donald Trump was elected as a president. We all know that it caused Mexican peso to weaken, but as you can see, Donald Trump is not so is not so scary anymore. He's trying to sort out the Obamacare. He's trying to sort out the tax scheme. He's trying to sort out extra money for army, and he's not talking much about the wall and deals with Mexico. So that's why we are seeing that Mexican peso is getting stronger. And here, after breakout of this lower line of this uptrend line, we do have a negative sentiment here, and actually the short, the sell signal is being triggered. The same is happening on euro to British pound. As you can see, British pound is getting stronger after the bill. Many people think it will be the other way, that euro will be stronger, that British pound will be weaker and euro will be stronger, but we can see that it's doing quite the opposite. So buy the rumors, sell the facts. We broke the horizontal support here, a very important one, so the sell signal is on the table, and also this can be considered as a false breakout from the slack formation, which I highlighted with those red colors. So we have a false breakout here, we do have a breakout of the horizontal support, so I would say that it's a full legitimate buy signal. Sell signal here on euro to British pound. Canadian dollar to Swiss franc, we are coming above horizontal support, but I will remove this pair because there is nothing interesting going on this instrument. Also on Kiwi, no point to waste your time trying to analyze instrument that has no signal whatsoever. On S&P 500, what do we have here is this inverse head and shoulder formation here. Left shoulder head. Well, we do have also smaller one, left shoulder head and right shoulder, but we also can consider this as a left shoulder head and a right shoulder here. So we're trying to cross the neckline. As yesterday I highlighted this place as a potential very good support, and as you can see, the price went here, bounced from it straight away, so it is a good support. It's still a legitimate support. But as long as we stay below this neckline and above this horizontal support, the sentiment stays neutral. I would like to see the price for the buy signal to come back. I would like to see the price breaking first this red line and second this downtrend line here. DAX, as you can see, the party goes on DAX. DAX is trading. They are having a good time right now on DAX. That was a false bearish breakout. Probably many sellers lost money there. That is why I'm not trading on stocks, because from the technical point of view, that breakout was very good. But we also in some analysis were mentioning that, come on, there is a bubble. It's very hard to go against the bubble because you don't know when we will have a pop. And if you try to catch a top, you will get hurt, right? Here, entering opening short positions on indexes is just you trying to catch the top, which is not a very good strategy, and chance for a success is very, very low. And I don't care what many people are trying to tell you that going for reversal is profitable. No, it is not, because it's very hard to find the exact place where the trend will reverse. Trends are like to be continued, and we do have a typical example on DAX, for example, right now. Oil, as you can, well, I was telling you about this declining triangle, but in the same time I mentioned that it will be hard to pull this formation from this setup, because there was a big buying pressure on the upper line of this triangle, and I warned about the possibility of a breakout. Data came with a help, so we had a build in inventories, but it wasn't so big as expected, which was a positive information for oil, and the price of oil went up. Also, we have some disruptions in the oil and the supply from Libya, which is also lifting the prices higher. Well, there may be a problem with a stronger dollar here, right? Because if American dollar is stronger, the prices of commodities is lower. But still, it's right. There's no sell signal here. No sell signal, but sentiment stays negative as long as we stay below this horizontal resistance. Actually, I think this is more important. This one is more important. As long as we stay below those two, the sentiment is negative, but it doesn't mean that there is a sell signal, right? Because so far, with my understanding of technical analysis, I don't see any strong signals here. Okay, we can come back to currencies. Currencies, American dollar to Polish zloty. I know it's a local currency, but it's trading very technically, right? We had a bounce here, beautiful retracement and a continuation of this movement, and now we didn't stop it's not a surprise that we stopped here, because we do have an uptrend here, uptrend line, but I would like to see this impulse equality here. So this is 4,500 pips, 4,500, 4,000, well, so far 3,800 pips, something like that. And I would like to see price getting here to create the same impulse here, and I think here it will be great opportunity to buy. These are lows from Trump's getting elected, and this will be a support on many instruments. So it's not like that you trade on an exotic pair, but those instruments are very correlated. So if you're gonna see a retracement, for example, on American dollar to Mexican peso, it's also in the same place. And gold, what we're having on gold is this correction equality movement with this correction The price is, but maybe I will remove that because it's a strange color. The price, what is having right now, it's a flag. Flag is a trend continuation pattern, so we should see a bullish breakout here. Maybe traders from Manila, if we have some traders from Manila right now, know that I told on the seminar last week that you shouldn't trade inside of a flag, inside of a trend continuation pattern, but what you should do is just wait for a breakout. And now we're waiting for a breakout here. Once we will have a bullish breakout of the upper line of the flag, that will create a buying opportunity, and we'll have a buy signal here. So that's our positive. Well, positive. We will have positive once the gold will climb a few dollars higher, and also we will have a positive sentiment and a buy signal once this silver will break the neckline of this inverse head and shoulder formation, where we do have a left shoulder head and right shoulder. So we're waiting for a breakout of a neckline. Not far from that, there is a horizontal resistance here. So far we do not have a buy signal here, but once this resistance will be broken, we will have a buy signal here. And now two instruments from a trading sniper video. So euro dollar here. So on euro dollar, what do we have here? We can clearly see that was this left shoulder head. Maybe I should move it like that. Right, left shoulder head, and there was a right shoulder here. Right shoulder one was heading to the neckline, and we have actually two necklines here. So we have this black line, which is decline, and we do have this horizontal resistance here. Both can be considered a neckline. It's not a big difference when you look on the. So what we're having here is this breakout from the early morning from Monday, even done without European traders. I remember because it was early morning in Asia, and I was watching carefully what's going on there, and I was quite surprised to see that. I was thinking like, okay, that's brave, that's interesting, but for a significant trading signal, what you need is support from European traders and from the American traders. So what you need is support of the liquidity. There was no support from the liquidity. Once Europeans and Americans started to trade as well, the price declined. So first they managed to come back below the horizontal support, which will be now a resistance. Then they managed to close the gap as well, and the price declined sharply. We gained momentum. As you can see, we gained momentum. We broke the lower line of the channel up formation here. So this can be considered as a false breakout, right? It was a false breakout above the neckline. The price went lower. False breakout usually leads to the movements, to the strong movements in the opposite direction, and that's what we are having right now. So the price again broke the lower line of the channel up formation. The price also broke the neckline, and now we're heading significantly lower. That breakout of those two lines activates a sell signal here. So we don't only have a sell, a negative sentiment, but we also have a signal here. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar. On this instrument, I will show you how Australian dollar is strong at the moment. So what do we have here? Again, on a weekly chart, it's a huge downswing. The price created a inverse head and shoulder pattern, and we broke the neckline here, this horizontal one, which increased the momentum, and we were able to break the trend line, long-term trend line. And we used this trend line. It was a resistance, right? It was a support for sellers, but generally speaking, it was a resistance for the price to go up. and this resistance got broken, and broken resistances become supports. It's how it is. So broken resistance became a support, we had a nice support, and we had a nice bounce from this support. On a daily chart you can see 1, 2, 3 bullish candles bouncing from a support. They are doing well, right? And we highlighted this, we labeled this place yesterday as a nice place for a reversal. The reversal happened a bit earlier, but still it looks sustainable, it looks right, it looks positive, it looks bullish. So we should see the price advancing higher in the next few days. Or I'm sorry. And the last instrument I have for you is Euro to Australian dollar. So you can see the strength of Australian dollar here. They maybe let me change the color and the depth of the market, but what I wanted to show you is a different color here, right? So they tried to make the correction equality pattern. It's not going to happen, as you can see, because what they did is a false breakout here. Why false breakout? Because there is an inverse head and shoulder formation. So we have a left shoulder head and a right shoulder. This is a neckline. This is also a horizontal support, very strong horizontal support here. Okay, so you can see that was a false breakout. We also bounced from the long-term downtrend line. So we have a combination of 3 factors. Bounce from a long-term downtrend line, sell signal. False breakout above the neckline, sell signal. False breakout above the horizontal support, sell signal. So we have a combination of 3 selling factors, and now the price is advancing lower. I know it's very, very low. Maybe we'll have a small bounce from the support, and then the price will advance lower. But if you're thinking about long-term selling opportunity, about the long-term situation on that instrument, it looks very, very promising. It looks very promising for the short position here. So I wouldn't be surprised if the price declined sharply in the next few weeks. Right? I very like this setup here, and maybe I will consider it for my live trading account, but I have to think a bit more about that. And obviously I cannot give you any recommendations, so for now I won't tell you if I open this position or not, because we are here about discussing this situation. We are not here about giving recommendations on any particular instruments. Okay, thanks very much for watching Daily Analytical Report. Remember to follow us on our Twitter account and our website. Also, remember that trading and investment in financial markets involves an element of risk. Do not forget about that. In terms of following us, yes, our Twitter account, Alpari Array, our website, Alpari News. See you there. Comment our materials, that we will be able to get back to you and help you in your trading. Thanks very much, and goodbye.